You guys for tuning into Spiritual Beauty Ministry. So today we are coming from the book of Exodus chapter 14. And in this story, God has hardened, yes, he has hardened the heart of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh is at this point to where he's saying, you know what? I changed my mind on letting these people go. I'm finna go back and get them and make them my slave. And so the people see Pharaoh and his army coming after them. They begin to say, we should have never left. We should just stay where we were. Now, since we left, all these issues are coming against us. And so they begin to change their mind. But God begins to tell Moses, tell people, don't you fear. I got you. And so God tells them to keep going, to just keep going, don't look back. The Pharaoh and his army keeps getting closer and closer. And as they get closer and closer, God begins to close them off as his people crosses over, and then they die off in the they drown in the waters. What I want you to know is that God had to allow the army to come against them, because God wanted to let them know that it was only coming against you because you was about to get ready to cross over into what I have for you. And in order for me to cross you over to what I have for you, I have to make sure that what was once against you, that you see it drown before you, that you can get delivered now and walk into the new you. In the midst of Pharaoh coming against them with his army, I bet at that very moment, they just felt like, you know what? I know it's over for me right now. I know right now you may be at a very moment where you're saying, I know it's over for me right now. The Dr. Portwood said this. The loan of the house is saying this. This is saying that. This is saying that. Everything is saying something to you. And it looks as though it may just well be. But in that moment, God is only using it to get you moving. God is only using it to pull out that prayer warrior in you, to pull out that faith in you, to pull out that going back to school in you, to pull out the getting the strength in that relationship in you. But in order to get the strength out of you, see, God had to use the moment that you see against you to get out of you what he has called to come from you. And in order to do that, he had to make it uncomfortable. He had to make it look like it was a rejection. He had to make it look like it was a no. He had to make it look like the doctor, what they said was true. He had to make it look like it was so that you can become. See, God had to harden the heart of their enemy just to walk them into their elevation. See, God could have allowed the enemy to take them out, but instead he used the moment to bring them in. God was using the enemy that they saw against them just to usher them into the thing that he had that was for them. They could not walk into what was for them until he put an urgency within them to run, to cross over to the thing that he said it is time for them to now begin. It's amazing that the enemy wanted to start coming when they was about to get ready to cross over. Where was the enemy when they had just started the change? See, whenever you start to take that change serious and you start to walk that thing out and you get closer to that crossover, do not be surprised of what is going to try to stop you before you cross over. So you have to be very careful of what's going to try to present itself to you. It's going to look like it's for you. It's going to look like you should have it. It's going to look like you should turn around and go back and get it. But at the end of the day, it is only coming back to you because it knows that you are about to cross over into the treasures that God said is for you. It's a trap because it's tied to your transformation. You guys got to keep your eyes open, because if you miss it because you're trying to go back to it, then you're never going to walk into it. You got to stay tuned for this word called God Did It on Purpose, Spiritual Beauty Ministry. God is doing it on purpose. God is doing it on purpose. God is doing the pain on purpose. God is doing the rejection on purpose. God is doing the relationship issues on purpose. God is doing it on purpose. God is doing the job issues on purpose. God is doing it on purpose because there is a version of you that he is calling to become. And if he does not do it on purpose, then you're going to stay comfortable in your prison. If God does not do it on purpose, then you're going to stay comfortable in your prison. So if you do not allow God to harden the heart of it, and then you keep on finding yourself going back to it, it is only going to keep destroying you until you allow God to step in to deliver it from you. So it's not all of a sudden a rejection. It's not all of a sudden his love ain't what it used to be. It's not all of a sudden. God has given it permission. God has given your pain permission. God has given your hurt permission. God has given your rejection permission. God has given it permission against you. because he needs you to fall into alignment of the you and of that thing that he has called to become and to begin to grow from you. In order for you to come into who you need to be, God had to force you out. In order for him to force you out, he had to first harden the heart of the thing that you got comfortable with being. See, what if God had to harden the heart of Pharaoh, because he know that even though my people have been crying that they want to come out, but do they really want to be brought out? See, sometimes we're wanting God to bring us out, but we can really be honest with ourselves. Are we really ready to come out? Because if you have been so comfortable with what you've been doing and what you've been having, it's hard to all of a sudden just turn that thing off. So you're going to not only are you going to ask God to bring you out, but you're going to need God to harden the heart of the thing that brought you in. Because if God does not harden the heart of the thing that brought you in, then it's going to keep you deep in. See, you need to thank God for the hearts that he has hardened. God, thank you for hardening the heart of this relationship. God, thank you for hardening the heart of this man. God, thank you for hardening the heart of that job. God, thank you for hardening the heart of this, and thank you for hardening the heart of that. God, thank you for hardening the heart of that habit, because if you did not harden the heart of it, I would have stayed longer in it. See, God, when you hardened the heart of it, you forced me out. See, whenever God hardens the heart of something that has become comfortable to you, the only way for him to bring it out, the only way for God to bring you out of it is to harden the heart that has pulled you in it. See, the very thing that pulled you into that habit, the very thing that pulled you into that addiction, the very thing that pulled you into that relationship, the very thing that pulled you in, God is going to harden the heart of it to pull you out. See, he cannot pull you out of it if you are still comfortable in it. So what does he have to do? He has to make you uncomfortable in it so that he can bring you out of it. So all of a sudden, God is going to allow that relationship to begin to reject you. All of a sudden, his love is not going to be what it was once before. All of a sudden, that job is not going to be what it was once before. God is going to begin to harden the hearts of the things that he is saying it is time to bring to an end. It is time for it to come to an end. And in order for it to come to an end, I am going to have to harden the heart of it. I know that you have cried out to me saying that you are wanting to be set free, but you cannot be set free until I harden the heart of the thing that you made your prison. I want to be set free from this thing that has me. So God is going to take your words and he's going to say, okay, I'm going to help you be set free. And how God is helping you being set free, you may see it as rejection. You may see it as pain. You may see it as, why are they doing me like this? You may see it as, God, why is he not loving me the way I want him to love me? God, why is this? God, why is that? But I want you to remember what you have prayed, of what you are really internally asking God. You may not have said it with your mouth, but you have thought it with your mind. You may not have said it with your mouth, but you have thought it in your heart. I don't want to be in this place no more. I don't want to be where I am, but God, I don't know how to let go of where I am. And God is saying, don't you worry about it. I got you. I am going to lay my hand over. See, God had to put his hands upon it so that it can take his hand off of you. So the thing that is rejecting you is the very thing that has been prisoning you. And so right now you need to give God the thanks and the praise. God, thank you for the rejection that I am experiencing right now. Because if it did not reject me, it would have kept me. If it did not do what it did to me, if it did not hurt me, if it did not cause me pain, then God, I would have stayed in this prison that I know that I should not be in. God, I would have stayed longer at this job when I know I could do better. God, I would have stayed longer in this relationship when I know I could have done better. God, I would have stayed longer if you did not harden the heart of it. So what you need to do is thank God for hardening the heart of your enemy. He is allowing it to be so that you can start being. so that you can start being that true version of who you really are. So thank God for the rejection that has found itself at your door. God is allowing it to be because it's time for it to come to an end. Let God continue to harden the heart of the very thing that you have gotten comfortable to, because that is the only way he can bring it out from up under you. The only way you can stand up is for him to tear it down. The only way for you to begin to walk in it, he has to close the door of it. So thank God for the rejection. God, I know that it is not for me, but I don't know how to let it go from me. So that's okay, because if you don't know how to let it go, God is going to step in and he's going to help you to let that thing go. God, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go so that I can walk in. I'm going to let it go so that my deliverance from you can begin. God, I'm going to let it go. God, I'm going to let it go so that my growth can begin. God, I'm going to let go of this habit. God, I'm going to let go of this addiction. God, I'm going to let go of this relationship. God, I'm going to let it go because it is only destroying me. The only way for you to let it go is for him to allow it to become uncomfortable. In order for you to walk into the wind, you're going to have to be okay with the hearts that God hardens. You guys be blessed. Have a great day. And remember, God did it on purpose so that you may walk into your purpose.